You're welcome to the Police Headquarters Conference Hall. It's the Gambia Police Force Public Relations Officer, Superintendent Lamin Jai. With me here, I have Chief Superintendent of Police, Pa Aliu Jawara, who is the head of the Special Investigation Unit of the Gambia Police Force. Today, we are here to report on a case that had happened here in Banjul sometime in the beginning of this month of July, around the 5th of July, 2021. What happened is the suspect that you have seen here before by the name Momodu Jang Jallo. He is somebody who operates a bureau de change called the AMJ, if I remember well. That bureau de change, according to him, somebody called him on the phone and requested that he needs to change CFA, a huge amount of CFA to Dallas. And so as a result of this, he had an appointment with this individual. And so according to him, the following day, two individuals appeared at his bureau de change. And so these individuals, soon as they entered into the bureau, they attacked him. And then they assaulted him and they robbed him of $600,000. According to him, the robbers used knives and other weapons to subdue him, and they inflicted injuries on him as well. And until he got passed out, they took $600,000 from the shop and went away with it. Upon receipt of this information, the Gambia Police Force Investigation Department swiftly opened an investigation into this situation. And the investigation found out that, in actual sense, this was staged. It was he himself who decided to inflict wounds on himself or injuries on himself. It was he himself who laid down in a sort of what would look like a pool of blood for people to see to it that actually there were robbers, when in actual sense there were no robbers at the bureau. What we found out, in fact, was that it was he himself who used another telephone of his to call his other line, so that it appears as if there were some people who called him the previous day, making it look like some people were calling him, when actually even that in itself, it was his other line that he used to call another of his line, which equally belonged to him as well. And so at the end of the day, we found out that most of the revelation, most of the complaint that he has given, none of these things are valid or truthful at the end of the day. And we realized that he decided to do all this because he had owed certain people some money. He borrowed $200,000 from somebody and another person, and he promised to pay these monies on time, and he failed to do this. And at the end of the day, he is looking for a story to explain to this individual as to what is the reason why he could not pay them or their monies on time. In fact, in actual sense, according to him, during investigations, these monies have been embezzled in one way or the other, and he cannot be able to repay these monies again. And so he had to look for a story, and this is what he did by staging or cooking up a scenario that looks like a robbery, when actually there was no robbery. Our message to the general public is this. We want to make it very clear to the general public that people must desist from staging crime scenes and making it look like if these are real crime scenes, when actually these are only situations that never occur at any point in time. In fact, we want to let people understand that this amounts to a crime, and that is why this individual has been charged with giving false information to the police, and he will be arraigned before the court accordingly. The other thing that we want to let the public be aware of is the fact that we know there are people in the era that we live in, people have smartphones. They can take pictures, they can make videos, and also make WhatsApp audios as well to be informing the public about issues, especially pertaining to crime. We want to caution people because if you look at this crime scene, it appears as a real crime scene. And so if you go on without verifying facts, without knowing the nitty-gritty of what is happening, you could be informing the public that there is a crime going on and somebody has been stabbed and that, when actually none of that is existing. But in actual sense, what you are doing is instilling panic into people about a crime that has not really happened, which we want to encourage people to allow journalists to do their job, because the journalists will investigate. At the end of the day, they will verify facts and inform the public accordingly when it comes to issues like this. But we know that most of the time, this is not the issue of the journalists, but ordinary people can easily take their phones and take pictures of issues. At the end of the day, spread it around. So we want people to be cautious of that as well. The third thing we want to put across is the fact that we are encouraging people to share information with the police. Information sharing is the way we can solve crime and prevent crime from occurring within our communities. This is why we keep encouraging community policing initiatives for people to partner with the police wherever they have seen or have heard about an incident or an unusual activity. They can easily inform the police, and at the end of the day, those matters will be investigated and the public will be adequately informed about the facts and realities of those situations. This is what we want to pass across to the public, and we hope that people will collaborate with the police to make the Gambia a crime-free country.